Hey, I've lived with this setup every day for weeks straight, and the moment you power it up you feel the difference between average sound and something that actually moves you. The KEF LSX II is for the kind of person who doesn't just hear music, you want to experience it. You're someone who already notices when a track feels flat, when dialogue doesn't feel alive, or when your current speakers make everything sound boxed in. Before you go any further, take a quick second to check the current price and stock, because premium wireless HiFi systems like this don't linger, and you don't want to be watching prices climb later and wishing you jumped on it. You've had that moment, you hit play and something feels off. Instruments don't separate cleanly, vocals feel distant, bass feels loose, or the whole soundstage feels narrow instead of wide and immersive. That isn't just a technical gap, it's a feeling of disappointment. You don't mentally chalk it up, you intuitively notice that something isn't right. That's when you know you've outgrown compromise and you're ready for a sound experience that's actually built for your standards. From the very first week with these speakers, the emotional shift is unmistakable. It's not just that music sounds better, it's that it feels alive. You stop adjusting EQ settings or apologizing for lack of depth. You just hit play, and everything unfolds with clarity and presence. Vocals feel like they're in the room. Instruments feel layered and distinct. Soundtracks feel dimensional instead of flat. And that's not something you think about, it's something you feel every time you listen. In real-life use, this shows up everywhere. When you stream your favorite playlist, suddenly details you never noticed before come forward, subtle harmonics, texture in percussion, breath in vocals. Watching movies feels cinematic because spatial detail is real instead of just loud. Even podcasts feel easier to follow because voices sit naturally in the mix instead of battling for space. And when friends hear it, they don't just notice the sound, they talk about the sound. That's the level of presence we're talking about. What you feel is responsiveness, sounds that don't blur into each other, highs that are crisp without being harsh, mids that feel warm and honest, and bass that has weight without overpowering. And because this system is wireless and smart, setup feels effortless rather than technical. You don't fight cables or menus, you just step into sound that feels like it belongs in your space. Now, let's be honest, waiting for some tiny price drop or holding out for something better later usually just means missing out. Availability shifts, prices climb, and that hesitation becomes the kind of regret you don't want when you're still listening to gear that doesn't truly move you. If part of you is thinking, is this really worth it? Let me reframe it, this isn't about extra flash or marketing specs. This is about presence. It's about sound that feels intentional, nuanced, and emotionally engaging. It's the difference between background audio and audio you live with. Every time you sit down to listen you'll feel this, your music feels deep and detailed, your movies feel immersive and rich, your voice content feels clear and natural, your space feels sonically alive, your pride in your setup grows daily. In a couple real notes, it's not aimed at bargain bin expectations, it's not the most budget-focused option. At some point the comparison loop just stops and you choose the system that already felt right the moment you heard it. So check the current price and stock now, make that decision with confidence, and don't let this be one of the upgrades you delay and regret later. If you want audio that feels natural, powerful, and beautifully expressive every time you listen, this is where you take that step.